obviously saw you before the first 2 games, and you were very chilled out, looking quite chilled out now. How's everyone feeling after the USA match?
Yeah, good. I still think we're in a strong position. Obviously top of the group, and it's all in our hands going into the final game. I was just saying then in another interview, it's weird sometimes, playing for the national team, because you have one result like that, and it's as if it's the end of the world when it's clearly not. We played against the team the other night, and I felt like a lot of it was about us, like England with this, England with that. But at the end of the day, they played very well. There was a team that had a lot of energy, very athletic in all the positions. And, I think we had to give them credit for the way that they played. They changed their tactics up, the way they pressed and stuff, from the first game. But obviously we knew, that we can play better. And we'll certainly be looking to do that, going into the next game.
Yeah, do you feel as if it was a bit of an overreaction? There was obviously a lot of clamouring to see Phil Foden. You know what that's like. The Euros last year, it's like, get Jack Grealish on the pitch. It's now the same with Phil.
Yeah, I think there was a massive... I'm not on about the Phil thing, but I'm on about just in general, just like... I think there was a big overreaction. I think we're still... I don't know, apart from Spain, are we the top scorers or something in the tournament, maybe? I can't think off the top of my head if there's anyone that scored more than 6, but the other day against Iran, we were the best thing since sliced bread, scoring 6 goals, and then we go a game, without scoring. And I think, there was a bit of an overreaction, but I suppose that's what you get sometimes, playing for England. And with the Phil thing, obviously we all know how good Phil is, but there's a lot of players in them forward positions, that all bring different stuff, different attributes, and I'm sure Phil will obviously get his chance, and hopefully he does. He's been training well and stuff, so it's obviously up to the manager, but he does have a lot of options in them attacking positions.
Wales up next. You got the assist for Dominic Calvert-Lewin's opener, didn't you, in that 3-0 win?
I did.
What do you remember about that game, and what do you remember about them?
That was my first start, I think. I think that was my first ever start for England. Obviously, that day I think they didn't have a lot, they're more experienced players playing, like obviously Bale and Ramsey and players like this weren't playing. But I can't really remember too much of it. Obviously, I remember getting the assist. I didn't really touch the ball for the first half an hour in that game. But I remember getting the assist, and obviously we won 3-0, was it?
Yep.
3-0, yeah. So we'd love to be able to do that again on Tuesday. But we've all just been training well, preparing well, and obviously it's going to be a big game. It's one of them games that everyone's going to be watching back home, and I think it's a big game that all of us want to play in. We're desperate to play in, because that's what we're here for. The big stage, and it would be brilliant to obviously play a part in it.
And it's a game that Wales are going to absolutely be on their best for, to try and get one over on England, I'm sure. And a lot's been made of Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey not necessarily having the best World Cup so far as their superstars, but this is the kind of game that they could maybe turn it on. Do you see that as a big threat? Yeah,
of course, because they're brilliant players. They've both had brilliant careers, and obviously Bale got on the point in the first game, with his penalty. It was obviously a high-pressure penalty, but fair play to him. We know that they can hurt us. They've got players all over the pitch, that can hurt us, especially in them forward areas. But I think it's a game where we've got to focus on ourselves. We've got to look at ourselves and look at our team and the threat that we have, and we'll be doing everything we can on that day to perform like we did in the first game.
Just finally, before I let you talk camels with Gabby, just going to ask you about the tournament as a whole and what games you've managed to watch. Who do you think are the most big, or the biggest threats to England? Did you catch Messi last night, for example?
I did, yeah. I've watched I watched literally all the games, to be honest. You know, when we're at our hotel, yeah, we obviously have, you know, like a lot of screens and stuff around the place, and it's just nice, and it's just easy to watch, like when you have games on all day. Obviously, yeah, watched Messi last night. Unbelievable, unbelievable, and he just showed what he's about, you know, especially in that second half. But then again, so did Mbappe. I think there's a lot of brilliant teams. You know, some teams just have that one player that's just, you know, unstoppable. Um, but yeah, obviously Brazil, I think, are probably one of the most impressive that I've seen so far. You know, they have just so much talent, especially in them attacking areas. So yeah, I think they're probably, if that's what you're asking me, who's the biggest threat, I'd probably say Brazil.
The final then, maybe.
Fingers crossed.